was late December. I was 17 then, and every year, just before Christmas, my mother traveled for work for 3 days. I was an only child, and it was just the two of us in the house, so whenever she left, I stayed alone. Normally, she'd go right before winter break ended, meaning I'd still be at school most of the day. This time was different. School had already let out, and she left that same morning. By afternoon, the house was completely mine. I planned to do nothing, eat, watch movies, and wait out the storm. Snow was falling hard, thick enough that leaving wasn't an option. I heated what food was left and put on something random to watch. The wind kept interrupting everything. Every so often, it roared so loudly that I had to pause the movie. Each time I checked the windows, the snow looked heavier, the sky darker. Around 7 or 8, I heard movement outside. Footsteps crunching slowly through snow. Someone coughing. I muted the TV and stared at the front door, waiting for a knock or the bell. Nothing happened. Minutes passed. My chest felt tight. Eventually, I walked to the door and looked outside. No one stood there, but fresh footprints led straight up to the porch, then turned away. What bothered me wasn't that someone had come. It was that I never heard them leave. I tried to explain it away. Maybe they'd mistaken my house for theirs. Maybe they realized and left quietly. It didn't fully make sense, but I forced myself to accept it. Later, the storm worsened. The power flickered off and on, sometimes for minutes. Eventually, I gave up on TV and scrolled on my phone in the dark. Around 11, something hit the side of the house. A dull thud. Seconds later, the power died again. I turned on my phone light and walked toward the kitchen, following the sound. I found nothing. As I turned to leave, a voice spoke. I looked up and froze. A man stood outside the back door, his face barely visible through the glass. The porch light was off. Only his eyes and mouth caught the glow. "Hey, kid," he said. "Open the door. It's freezing." He tried the handle. My body wouldn't move. Something felt wrong. When I backed away, his expression twisted. "Open it," he shouted, slamming his fist against the door. Again. I ran and called for help. The signal barely held. By the time I got through, the man was gone. Police arrived much later. The snow slowed everything. No one knew what to think. Maybe he needed help. Maybe he didn't. I never saw him again. But sometimes, during heavy snowfall, I hear footsteps stop at the door. And wait. What would you do if someone knocked during a snowstorm but no one was outside? Would you answer the door or stay inside and hide? Have you ever heard footsteps when you were home alone? Do you think he was in trouble or something worse?